historical things these days, and I kind of find it retarded. Like,
well, I'm not hung up on but
40s?
No, it happened in the late 1960s. But
so
I'm not hung up on that.
History doesn't matter anymore. So, but these are the same people that can't stop talking about.
I don't think that you should throw out all history, but like the obsession with history actually makes you guys like focus on something that isn't relevant to like today's world.
Well, I do think that, and this is like, okay, so when it comes to the amount of like espionage Israel would do, like our telecom system, they were basically able to like tap into telephones, it was crazy how much they infiltrated the United States up until 1911, or I'm sorry, 9/11. Jesus Christ, sorry, I was reading something. Up until 9/11, and they ended up arresting, I believe, like a couple hundred Israelis and sending them back, because they were looked at as being, spies. There is like an existential crisis, I believe the Israelis in particular felt that is in a way like real. I mean, these are a super small global minority, and it's like, how do they navigate the world? I don't know. It's like I get annoyed at the fact that they have like AIPAC and all of this shit. But if I was trying to just like, I don't know, at least assure the survival of my people at a minimum, I would have to like, I would really have to go out of my way to, I don't know, do things that other groups of people wouldn't do. Like, I don't know, have groups like AIPAC. Like, how do they?
To be fair, though, so how many Israelis got arrested again? Like a couple hundred?
Something in total. I don't know if it was arrested, it was detained, because you have to understand these are foreigners. So I don't.
Yeah, of course.
So being detained is different than being arrested. So that but a lot of them were sent back. I don't know, but when it comes to our telecom system, like they absolutely.
I mean, what do you think
infiltrated that in the 90s?
What do you think happened to the rest of the diplomats in like that entire region?
In which region?
The whole Middle Eastern region.
During 9/11?
Yeah, so a few hundred Israelis got sent back.
Okay, I mean, if I'm just being realistic,
I'm just talking about like there was a war.
Sure. But
the next day.
If I'm being realistic, the Israelis have quite a bit of smart people. These other countries, even Saudi Arabia with all their money, and they're not known for being
I know they're trying to make it attractive for Westerners to like come to them now.
Yeah, but they're not known for being like. I'll just say this: especially the Ashkenazi Jewish population seems to have some very intelligent, crafty people, and they're able to, they're kind of a force to reckon with. And so, do I think any of the other groups in the Middle East are even closely as capable as them? No, not even. Like the other groups in the Middle East aren't even capable of competing with Europeans in general.
I mean, we are a force to be reckoned with, I guess. But with that being said, I don't know. No. I look at it as I think that 9/11 was somewhat of an inside job. I don't think it involved Jews, though. I think actually it involved
the full confession tape of them.
Yeah, I don't think it involved Jews either. I completely disagree. No, I've seen. Yeah, I can hear you, but we debated this, and I completely.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you one question. You gonna join my room next month? It's only
Yeah,
like 2 weeks from now.
we can. Yeah, I'll join it.
It's gonna be like 4 or 5 hours. We're gonna go from 8.
You're gonna lose your haircut, man.
How do you explain like Odigo? It's like the app they used to warn Jews that were working at the World Trade Center not to go, or like the Israelis
Oh my
that
god,
were
that
detained.
turned out to be completely debunked. By the way, that never happened.
Not
That was
really.
like some,
And-
no, it was completely debunked.
And the
So
Israelis
that never happened.
that-
So
It
the
has
3,000 Jews that didn't show up to the World Trade Center on
That's a
9/11.
fact.
it's not 3,000. I don't think it's 3,000. But
No, it was 3,000.
I'll
That
give
turned
you-
out
I'll
to
give you-
be.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna grok this right now. Okay, because I'm gonna close the room in a minute, and I'm willing to bet. Let me look up grok. What percentage of the people killed on 9/11 were Jewish?
How are you gonna do
Just
that?
because of the hold on.
Go ahead.
Just because of the location, I promise you that disproportionate a number of these people were going to be Jewish. Number one, because of which building they were working in, because of which city is, because of the level of education that Jews tend to have in comparison to other Americans. I'm willing to bet the percentage of people killed on 9/11 was disproportionately Jewish. Would you disagree?
It's the second highest population in the world where those people live.
Is New York City, obviously.
Well, it's maybe not.
Oh, there we go.
everybody that's listening.
I've been to
Yeah,
the
maybe
memorial and I've
Maybe
seen
because
Jewish
they
names.
like to do finance and stuff like that. I don't know.
Do you speak with a little bit more testosterone than you always think?
What about the agents that were
funny
working?
because
What about the agents that were working for this sketchy urban moving company? They
Okay. I'll tell you what. Okay, I'll tell you what. Go to the I believe it's the Highway and Transportation Safety. I forget what. Just if you look at their most wanted, you'll get like 10 pages of like 95+% of these people are Jewish. Now, for whatever reason, there were Israeli individuals that had moved to the United States. They would have these moving companies, and what they would do is you would ask for a quote, and they'd say, well, to move from here to there with that amount of shit, okay, $3,000. And then, all of a sudden, it'd be like, nope, it costs way more now, and we can't deliver your shit until you give us another $3,000. It was basically, it was these guys were absolute pieces of shit. That's why they're wanted. So they did, for whatever reason, there were Israeli criminals that came over here and they did this scam. Now, when it comes to these individuals, okay, you get a woman, this is an Asian woman who she did not have an American accent. She called 911. She thought they looked suspicious.
What looks suspicious for the people that are listening?
They seemed like they were celebrating, the attack of the Twin Towers.
You're missing a very, very important element.
What is the important element?
That they had camcorders and they were recording the event.
Yeah.
That
Well,
is not-
okay, but I had a camcorder like.
Were you jumping
Fuck,
up
like
and
6
down?
years before that.
Sure.
I mean,
were you jumping up and down, high fiving whoever was with you as if you won the lottery? If you would see the second plane coming in, I should say drone, but we can do that on the.
Yeah, if the Jews wanted to hide this shit and make sure that it was covered up, they definitely wouldn't be high-fiving each other. You could actually look at what happened in Palestine, for example.
So what I wanted to say.
But here's the thing, though.
Let me finish my point.
Palestine. We're talking about the little
Because
hats
you
blowing
could
up
talk about
buildings.
Palestine on September 11th on that day, and you could see that there were celebrations that were.
But it has nothing to do with the Muslim.
No, he is bringing up a good point because, like, if I was
So
caught
the
up in
people
my
in Palestine.
well, hold on. But Ludwig, if I was like caught up in my spycraft and I wanted to be a good little spy, the last thing I would do is be on foreign soil, high fiving and laughing, saying like, "Oh, yes, yes." I would literally just want to go unnoticed and not draw attention to myself.
Can I finish the story for like 59 seconds? So after this lady made the call from New Jersey, the police traced his car down and pulled the car over. Turned out to be that 2 out of those 5 individuals were actually Mossad agents. How do we know this? They were kept in custody because, the suspicious act of like the camcorder, right? Jumping up and down, celebrating, turned out to be Mossad agents. 2 of them, all 5 of them got arrested.
They did not confirm they were Mossad agents.
Let me finish.
The master has mastered nature. Not in the sense
They're
of
being brought
conquering
down to the police station, right? They ran their
master has
names,
mastered
and
nature.
2 out of those 5 individuals turned out to be, it is 100% fact, turned out to be Mossad agents. After 71 days of being in custody, a phone call came in. Release them right now. They got released. No charge, no nothing, right? Being sent back home with the next plane back to Israel. Now, here comes the craziest part. A certain period afterwards, on national Israeli news, those men were invited. Everyday talk show like Jimmy Kimmel, whatever the fuck it is, right? And those 2 Mossad agents literally said, and we have quite a few Jews living in Amsterdam, so I got
everything.
I'm almost done. I know you got triggered because you want to like talk shit about Muslims all day. So those 2 individuals sitting with their faces just normally not blurred, no nothing, right? They're literally saying, we were sent there to record the event. End of discussion.
To document.
And there is so much more, Pepe. There is so incredibly much more evidence and proof that without any possible doubt, you can say for the full 100% that this was an Israeli operation. And I'm going to elaborate all details, and I'm going to deliver. I'm almost done. Jewan, I'm almost done. Okay.
It's on TV.
And I'm going to reveal all the receipts with all the proof, not just theories. No, all the proof. Who was all behind it? So I'm cool with like who wants to deny it now. At least have the character to join my room next month, and I don't have to mention which day.
You also, Pepe, you should look into the Israeli spy ring in Florida, the Israeli art students in Florida who were harassing an FBI agent.
Yes, but back in 2001, when the attacks first took place, that was one of the things that was brought up that I absolutely ended up reading about, and it was reported on the news at the time. They did. So these art students that were quote unquote said, "God damn it, Ludwig, you're a mic." They ended up selling. They were